And then he threw me down on my back and he mopped the whole mat up with me. He gave me mat burns all over, on my shoulders, on my elbows, on my chin, on my forehead. I had time to nurse my wounds on my 3-mile run home in the dark. We didn't have activity buses in them days, kids. I go in the house, and the old man says, "What happened to you?" I said, "Nothing, I fell down." Didn't talk much to Dad in them days. I sat down to supper by myself. Everybody ate. Mother comes over. You told Mother everything. And she says, "Jerry, what happened?" I said, "Mom, I helped put out the wrestling match that I knew a guy asked me to want to wrestle." And I said, "Yeah." He took me down. He squeezed me so hard I could not breathe. He stretched me 2 inches longer than I should be. He cross-faced me. He putted my nose. Made me cry. Then he mopped the whole mat up with me. Look what he did to me. And she said, "You're going to quit?" I said, "No, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to enter more night. I'm going to kill that guy." When Kenny Miller found out that Jerry Seaman kept coming back and coming back and coming back, I was not going to quit. He started teaching me what he was doing to me. He taught me a figure 4. He taught me a guillotine, and he taught me the cradle. He taught me the split, the full Nelson, the Japanese key lock, the double hammer lock. All great punishing holds. Ain't allowed to use none of them today. Bunch of sisters. I used to tell Larry Maggi when he called the reference, "Good ball," and I said, "Put a dress on him, Maggi." Not very tough as we were back then. I became known as what is called a leg man, but different than today. He wrestled a leg man just like he had 8 arms. He was like an octopus. You wrestled him, you never got loose. And that's where that song, "Every Which Way But Loose," came from. It was by a wrestler. I can remember some of the great mentors you have back then. Everyone here, all these wrestlers, everyone in this table had a mentor who taught them that famous takedown, that low single, that double leg, that front headlock, how to throw that pass, thread the needle, how to block, how to do an arm shiver. And some of our earliest ones I had was Kenny Moore, but some were our great coaches back then. The earliest I can remember was old Doc Harris from Wash High School. Doc lived about the time Moses parted the Red Sea. Old Doc was. But he was a wonderful man. He started Claysville's program and others. And then you have Ernie Klosser from Waynesburg. We locked the doors one night over there, me and Baker. Oh my gosh, what a match. You couldn't get in if you didn't get to the match half hour early. And they was full. You could not find a seat. And then there was Stan Newbill over at Trinity. Frank Mosier and I closed that place up a couple nights. And then there was Stan Macedas over at Wash High. When Tommy Teagard and Funny Bryant wrestled, you could not get in if you didn't get there an hour early, right? To Fabio, pretty much that way. And then there was Andy Pacini and old Gene Bowman down at Gettysburg, where they were tough. They got the second most state champions in the state. But I remember on Gene Bowman's kitchen table, we operated on my first cauliflower ear. That's this paper on the right, the one that don't bleed on. Anyway, we had ether and collodion and sulfur and a bunch of gauze strips. We knocked the blood out of it, and then we put this cast on there. And today they would arrest us for making a bomb. Today. But from there, you start your career as I come on through and started wrestling exhibition matches before the varsity, and then your freshman and your sophomore, junior, and senior year. Remember, in those days, if you lost one, you were out. No, you did not make it to state. So you had to be very good, very tough. And I remember senior year, undefeated, and I would go up to 165, 185, and Larry remembers a match. I went up to heavyweight one night. 154-pounder wrestled this big galoot. I rode him with the legs, you better believe that. I didn't let him breathe. But undefeated, I go to Penn State, and tournament was in 2 matches in them days, no wrestlebacks. 1 match in the morning and 1 in the evening, you were state champion. First match, pretty good, no problem. Second match, very tough kid, and I did a move that Kenny Moore taught me 20-some years earlier, a little fancy move off the bottom. I slid out from under him, and I win the state title. Now, I am in the locker room and cooling down, having some fun with the guys, and this man walks up to me and he says, Jerry, can I talk to you a minute? I said, sure. He said, my name's Dave Adams, and I'm the assistant coach here at Penn State, and we would like to offer you a full scholarship to come here and wrestle for us. I said, no kidding. He said, guaranteed, no cut. I said, where do I sign? He said, well, don't you want to talk to your parents? I said, they don't know nothing about this. They never went to school. I'm of age. Where do I sign? Right here. So I signed the paper, and I went back out, and I told him, my mother and dad, I said, hey, guess what? I'm coming here to wrestle next year. And they gave me a 4-year scholarship. I'm a pipeliner at that time. And so I'm hit Penn State in the fall of '63 with my 1 suitcase. Didn't have a lot of luggage in them days in the dorms, you know what I mean? And I went right to work with 2 goals in mind: to win a national title and to get a degree in something I could make a good living at, like Purdue. Only got one of them 2, but it wasn't because of hard work. And my wife, Linda, who was with me, been married 49 years, I think, huh? Okay. And we worked our way through. We got through college. We've taught schools, and we built our business, and we raised a real gorgeous family. And if you allow me to show you what God has done for me and how He has blessed me in these past 50 years, and how my life changed forever when I told Kenny Moore, yeah. And back in the tables in the far back corner, I have several folks who have been great influence.